Good morning, everyone. I just want to show you some simple morning movements. Coming to an easy seat and having your legs out in a straddle. If this is already uncomfortable for you, you can use a bolster or a pillow. So having your legs out in a simple straddle, bring the arms up with an inhale, slight gaze to the sky. Exhale, draw the hands out in front of you, walk out just slightly, and most importantly to remember that nothing is about the way that it looks, it's all about the way that it feels. So tune in to how your body feels as you move, and move slowly to the left. And you'll start to notice feelings in the right hip, maybe the right sciatic, right lower back, and continue to walk over until you come down onto your elbows, keeping your legs as they are, and try to draw the right forearm, right elbow down to the ground. Notice the feeling and the twisting. The torso is moving in one direction as the right hip and right leg are moving in the opposite direction. And just listening to my words. Try to maybe even close your eyes and just tune in to the feeling, making any slight adjustments as needed. And walk yourself back over. Now, if when you do these morning stretches, you actually like to work your core at the same time, which I tend to not like to, but if you do, that's good and that's okay. You can do this without hands, and you can use a strong core to move yourself in each direction. So keeping that left hip rooted down to the ground as much as possible, feeling the twisting motion, torso is moving in one direction, legs the opposite, and tuning into your breath, just feeling all of the different sensations in the morning, in the body. Everything's a lot different in the morning than after you've had some time to warm up. But as we sit in our dental chair, a lot of times we notice the pain in the lower back, the forearms, hands. But what I'm noticing lately is that when you're seated in the chair, you're slightly twisted the whole time, and then you're working in this one motion. So in the morning, trying to release some of that repetitive motion with actually being able to feel into stretching these areas, sending the breath into these areas. And then when you're done with that, and take your time with that, bending the knees, feet are on the ground, hands are towards your behind or your hips. Roll the shoulders back, and this might be enough. This is going to open into your wrists and into the forearms, and just breathing here. And as you're ready, maybe you lift the hips towards the sky. Keep the head forward, don't let it drop back, and just lift the hips. Feel the opening all the way up into the shoulders. Maybe you find some gentle movement here, maybe stillness. And you can move through that a few times if your wrists are sore, if you have any carpal tunnel or any issues in the wrists. Doing some figure eights like this is really helpful, really relieving. And maybe one more time. And remember, you don't have to bring the hips up. You can get a sensation just sitting here with either knees bent or knees long, knees straight. And then working a little bit more into the lymphatic system, coming back to your gentle straddle, planting the left hand, inhaling right arm up and over, feeling the opening in the intercostal ribs here, and just moving with your own breath at your own pace. Notice when your right hand is lifted that your right hip is really planted into the ground. And right here I can already feel my rotator cuffs kind of popping, which tend to be one of my biggest trouble areas. And so in Speaking about the rotator cuff, any of the planks are really good for strengthening that area. It's a very shallow socket. So when you're in plank, fingers are really wide, spread wide, and you're thinking about the engagement in the shoulder. So it's like there's a string on the back of your body lifting you up. If you're dumping into your arms, it's not super helpful. So we're working to strengthen those 4 muscles around the rotator cuff. And by doing that, we're engaging the arms, engaging everything, maybe turning to a side plank. And your feet can both be on the ground for a side plank. Once again, think about the shoulder and all of the muscles engaging and lifting you up as you're here. And maybe some of you like to lift the top leg off the ground, maybe not. And planting that right foot on the ground, let the body drop down and reach towards the left foot. And come back up, arching, maybe plank, and just finding whatever gentle movements work for you for the morning to get the body ready. Maybe some rotation, turning back through your regular plank and over to the other side. I'm going to turn to face you. And maybe your feet are just on the ground here. This is enough. Every movement will do different things. Maybe you're lifting the leg. Wherever you're at, plant the left foot in front. Sit and reach and breathe. And raising the torso up again, find that arc. Reaching opposite direction. And coming back down to a seat. And if you'd like to work on any centering, this is a good time after the body has had some movement. You might have some tingling sensation. And just elongate through the spine and notice what's going on in the body. Maybe connecting to a 3-part breath, breathing deeply in through the nose, letting the belly fill, chest expands, collarbone lifts. And exhaling even more slowly, collarbone sinks, chest contracts, belly contracts. Bringing a little bit of peace and stillness into your day before you go out there into the chaos, which we're all kind of living in right now. And thank you for spending a little time with me. Namaste.